lads, one rock, we don't back up. Scrum down, big chat, turn the mics up. Loose bones, we the pace up. Ruck, rule talk, never made up. Two lads, one rock, that's game on. From the grass to the pot, let's stay on.
Hey, it's G from Two Lads, One Ruck, just doing another episode today. And before we get into the episode, if you would be so kind to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Got 91, need to get 9 more before Benny gets back, end of June. Gets up to that first goal, which is 100. And we're also on Spotify. I think we got about 14, but if you would also follow us on that, I would much appreciate it. And let's get our numbers up, because we do love this, and this is what we need from you, numbers. But if you don't, fair enough. But even if you watch our podcast, please watch. Much appreciated for your support. And we're just going to get straight into the episode today. So there was some big news from the government yesterday. The government have announced that they are banning all under-16s from April 2027, which will mean that they can no longer access social media. And my thoughts on it is it's a bit... I'm a bit 50-50. Like, in some respects, I think it's a good idea. But then on another sense, I think it's not a good idea. Do I think it's going to help? Probably not. But it's out of our hands now, really, isn't it? So, but our content was never for under 16s anyway, because we often get a lot of swearing in our podcast, unintentionally, but it sometimes slips out. So we always mark it as not suitable for anyone under the age of 18, just because it covers our backs when we upload it. So, but I don't know. It's a hard one. Like, do I agree with it? No. But yes. So it's a hard one. What does the younger viewers think of it? Like, all social media is mental in it, but there is pros to it and there's cons, and I'm not going to go too much into it because it's not a lot you can really do or say to make them change their minds. But yeah, that's that. Unlucky to all the under 16s, but as of April next year, you won't be able to access YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram. What else was it? TikTok. There's others, but I'm not too down with all the social media stuff. But they're sort of the main ones that I read up on, was the ones that there. I think you still have access to like WhatsApp and that. So I guess that's a good thing in that respect. But yeah. And I think there was something on the lines of if you're under 16, you're not allowed to live stream or something like that, which a lot of kids these days do, because they do a lot of sort of gaming and sort of record themselves and react to what they're doing. But I don't know. What do you think? What's your thoughts? I mean, it's nothing to do with rugby, but it's a big tool, actually. Thinking about it, like, it's a massive tool that would help grow rugby, I believe, but it's obviously been taken away now, so it's not a lot you can do. If you're under 16, come and join a rugby club. There's plenty of them. Rather than give football a go, give rugby a try. It's a much better sport, personally. So yeah. I suppose it gets you more active, gets you out of the house, because there's nothing to do, because you're not allowed to go on the phone. But yeah, we're going to cut short on that one, because kind of there's not a lot you can do, is there? But so just going over my predictions over the weekend, I seem to be a bit of a big curse on teams. So the two teams I predicted that would go through to the final ended up not going through to the final. So I think, what was it? The first game was Northampton Saints and Bath, and I think it was like way off because I think I had Leicester Tigers to win by 4 to 7 points, and Northampton Saints blew them out of the park. They were on fire on Friday. I thought it was a brilliant game. The atmosphere seemed brilliant as well. But yeah, again, my predictions seem to curse the team that I predict. So in a bit later, I'm going to predict my teams. I've already put it in my group chat from our rugby club, and I've put who should I curse this week, because we have a lot of Northampton Saints fans in our group chat. So they're nervously waiting my predictions, because I think apart from one since we started the pod, I've got it right. Oh God, but yeah. And then I think what was it? I loved watching the Bath versus Exeter Chiefs game. It was a tale of two halves. I thought Bath were just absolutely dominant in the first half in terms of like their gameplay was to sort of chuck it up the jumper and really apply the pressure with set piece and pushing like Exeter back into the 22, which they had quite a lot of success in the first half. And then second half, Exeter came out all guns blazing and were just relentless. Like their fitness was a big telling story. And the key substitutions was also quite telling as well. So I think they made good substitutions at the right time, because I believe they brought off one of their wingers to bring on Hammersley in like the 32nd minute, and it looked like a tactical change rather than an injury change. And like you've been there, I've been there, like where you're starting and then the next thing you know, you're being pulled off after like 25, 30 minutes and you're like, what have I done? And all you can say is as long as the team wins, then it is what it is. And there's another day, another game. Do you know what I mean? So, but in the second half, it was pretty relentless from Exeter Chiefs. And they just took the fitness levels to the next level. They started getting traction in the set piece again. They started winning the scrums. They started pushing Bath back. I believe that they probably should have kept Ben Urbano on and Steph Totoy on and Ben Spencer. I think those three substitutions was probably a little mistake from Bath, if I'm honest. But it was quite apparent that not having Finn Russell was quite apparent in their game plans, because it at times it wasn't as fluid as it had been throughout the season. But Exeter, hats off to them. They just kept grinding and grinding and grinding. And at one point I thought, because I think Slady had missed a couple of chances at goal to sort of like extend the point region. I think he missed like 2, maybe 3. So I thought that was going to cost them, especially towards the end when Bath were just camped inside, like on their 5 metre line, just absolutely pummeling. But I think if they would have kept the 3 players on, I think they would have got a lot of success. It was a bit weird that they didn't go for the drop goal, in my opinion. But like he was in the pocket, he was like matter of 15 metres out. It's like perfect. And at one time, I thought he was going to get the ball. Correct. This is Quares. So I thought he was going to get the ball back. And then I was like, why are they not doing it? And then there was like another thing. It was like, I think out out wide. I think Bath had managed to sort of like sucker Exeter in defensively. And I thought they could have sort of gambled and took it to the wing as well, but they didn't. And fair play, like 20 odd phases on your 5 metre line was unreal defence. And they fully deserved the win. But yeah, I didn't. I think I had Bath to win by 10 to 12 points. And I epically got that wrong. I was sort of sat there watching it and I was thinking, yeah, what I predicted at half time, but then second half, just completely different story. No points scored, nothing. Didn't even take the penalties that they may or may have had in the second half. They didn't have a lot, to be fair, in the second half, and that was fair. That was because of how well Exeter played. Some honourable shout-outs was Skinner at 10. He was unreal, like defensively and attacking. I thought Henry Slade, again, marvellous player for them, even though he got a yellow card, which could have cost them. But I mean, it was a bit stupid. He didn't need to do it, but he did. But overall, his game was unreal. And Len Ikitau, what a signing! And the other Australian, Michael Hooper, in the back row, he was relentless. And also Greg Fisselau, he stood up. His old man has a lot to do with arch nemesis Gwyn's. Boo. But yeah, and he stood up. He had a brilliant game, to be fair. I think, yeah, overall, the 2 semi-finals were really good. I think in the first semi-final, I think there was quite a few players that really stood out, especially English players in Northampton. I think Tom Litchfield, he's been a class player this season. And also another revelation in the centre was Will Wands. And I know Benny had him in his fantasy league, and he was a bit of an unknown to all of us, really. But this season, he's really, like, game by game, just got better and better. And I know when Benny put him into his team, I think he scored something like insane amount of points for him. And it like, centres don't tend to score you many points on the draft, 15, unless they've scored like 3 tries, made meters, and bits and bobs, because they're quite susceptible for like missed tackles and that. Because obviously it's the hardest place to defend is in the 12-13 channels. But yeah, Will Wand, Tom Litchfield, Hendy is another good player that was a bit quiet on Friday, I thought, personally. JVP had a good game for Tigers. Who else had a good game? Joe Hayes was another good player for Tigers. And Manny Iogon, he was another good player. He's a loose head prop. He's had a brilliant season this year for Northampton Saints. Who else was? Ollie Chesham, absolute machine. George Martin, a machine. But ultimately, Northampton Saints, I think the difference between them was not much in the forwards. I think they were pretty close, pretty tight. But I think the back line was quite telling. And you had the likes of Furbank, Freeman, Smith. Like, they were just on fire, weren't they? And obviously with Tom Litchfield complementing them all, it's been a brilliant season for Tom Litchfield. I'd be interested to see if he's eligible for England or if he's been picked for England. I haven't fully checked the 26-man squad for Friday's game against France 15. I think it's like an A game on Friday. I think before they go away to South Africa, it's kind of like a trial game, I'd imagine. But yeah, so on this Saturday, I'm looking to watch the game. I don't know where I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see if anyone wants to watch it. Be a great day. I'm not going to go and watch it live because I got lots of things to do this weekend, but I'm going to definitely watch the game on telly somewhere, maybe in a pub or club or something. Not quite decided, but hopefully I'll meet up with a few mates, have a few beers, have a laugh. But let's do some predictions and let's curse a team. And who am I going to curse this week? The team I'm going to curse this weekend is Exeter Chiefs. I think they will win. I do, and I think they'll win by 7 to 10 points, winning margin. I think if they show up with the dogged and fitness that they gave, and if they stop the quick ball from McFarlane to Smith to like free up Northampton Saints backline, I think Exeter has an outstanding chance to sort of stay in the game, and I think that they might pip it sort of at the finishing stop. So I think 7 to 10 points, Exeter Chiefs win the league, and what a turnaround from last season. Both teams actually, because I think they both finished 9th and 8th. So what a turnaround. It's amazing, isn't it? What a year, like what a season makes. But then I think Northampton Saints had a bit of a sort of a transition period last season, didn't they? With sort of good 5 or 6 sort of proper first team players leaving the club. And I think it took them a while to sort of really adjust. And then I think you mix that in with England call-ups and injuries. So I think that's partly the reason why Saints struggled last season. But this season they've been on fire. But they also leak a lot of points. But they also have enough firepower to keep them in front. I think if Chiefs stop the back line, I think Chiefs win 7 to 10 points. You've been cursed. Sorry, Chiefs. But you've been cursed. But yeah, I do think 7 to 10 points. But obviously, don't follow me for any bets. I always get them wrong. Just checking the mic. But yeah, 3:00 this Saturday, live on TNT Sports. It's going to be Northampton Saints versus Exeter Chiefs at the home of English rugby, Twickenham Stadium, or better known now as Allianz Stadium, which is a bit weird. But I mean, now we know what it feels like when the Welsh fans still call Millennium Stadium instead of Principality. It's a bit weird. I don't know why they've done it, but they've done it. Anyway, it's going to be a cracking game. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm also looking forward to England A versus France A on Friday, which is, I think it's a 5:30 kickoff. Or was it 6:30? It's either one, and I think it's on Rugby Pass TV for free. So if you want to watch that game, that'll be on there, and it'll be quite an interesting to see how England get on. And I'm excited to see, because I know one of our lads from Arminian Juniors at Oxford Rugby Club is in the 26-man squad. So I think he's done amazing this season, and that's Charlie Atkinson. I think he's been Gloucester's best player by far. It's been his best season of professional rugby. If you'd have asked me last season, maybe not, because he wasn't getting the consistent games. But this year he's been given like the full reins, and you've just seen what a class player actually Charlie is. I think if you give somebody confidence, it sort of, you get the payback. But I hope he gets some minutes on the pitch for England A. I hope that Borthers has a look at him. Obviously, he's been in a few training camps now, so he's had a good look at him. But it'll be interesting to see who he picks, because he's got Marcus Smith, he's got George Ford, and then obviously Charlie at 10. But obviously, Marcus can play 15 or 10. So it'll be interesting to see who he goes with. I would like to see Charlie have a go, to be fair, because we all know what Marcus and George can do. So I would like to see if it's like a reflection of the like true sort of trial. I think give Charlie the full reins, and if he can cope and delivers against France, then he got to be in for a shout for one of the places going to South like Summer Tour this year. Do I think that he will select him? Probably not, unfortunately. But I'm quite excited to watch that game because I'd love to see if he gives a start to him. There's quite a few young talents that may or may not be going on the summer tour, but I think, like you say, like I said, it's a summer tour. It's like a trial game for the summer tour, which is pretty cool, to be fair, because it's what we need. Trying to think. I hope so. So I'm going to be watching that. What's my predictions? I don't know because I don't know the team that they've selected. I don't know what France's team's been selected for Friday. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on with that. And we think, I forgot about the women's Premiership semi-finals happened the weekend just gone, and I think it was Gloucester Hartpury versus Ealing Trailfinders. I had already predicted, and I actually got this one right. I put Ealing to win by no more than 5 points as a margin. 5 points and under I put, and they did win, and so they're through to the final. And I think they're through to the final, and they're taking on Saracens women's team. And I think then that again was a close game, and I couldn't put my finger on who would win out of Sarries and what's it called? The team that they played. Fucking hell, forgotten now. But yeah, I put my money on Sarries to win. Who do I think will win the women's Premiership final? I think Ealing. I do. I hope I haven't cursed you guys, but I think from what I've seen of the games this season, I haven't watched too much. I'm not going to lie, but the games I have watched, it was either Ealing or Gloucester Hartpury, who were probably the standout teams in the women's Prem. So I think now Gloucester's been knocked out, I think Ealing will go all the way and be interesting to see. And I think their game is on Sunday, I believe. I'm not fully sure. Maybe Saturday. I need to check this out. But yeah, Ealing to win for women's Prem final, Exeter to win the men's Prem final, and yeah, there's that. So another topic this week that I'm announcing. I spoke with Benny, and we have confirmed what time we're going into Oxford for the sort of two lads, one ruck tour. Good laugh. It will be a good laugh. So we'd love to see you guys there. But I think that we are going to O'Neill's in Oxford City Centre, and we're aiming to get there for the England game, which starts at 2:10. So we're probably going to get into Oxford for about 12ish, because I think we're going to leave Benny's house at 11:30. So we'll probably get into Oxford by no later than 12:30. So if you want to meet up with us at 12:30, give us a message, drop us a DM, do whatever. Obviously, you don't have to be from Oxford Rugby Club. You can be from any rugby club, or if you just want to join us for a few beers and a good laugh and some predictions, and welcome Benny back to from work, and just get starting something that I think would be pretty cool to do every summer. Have a sort of a summer tour in Oxford. Maybe we'll change locations in the future, but we're starting Oxford. We'll start small. We're not expecting too many people to turn up, but if you do want to turn up, please come along. Much appreciate your support. So O'Neill's, City of Oxford, and we're aiming to get there. We'll probably get there about 12:30. So drop us a message, like I said, and get involved. But yeah, never exciting in news. Me and Benny probably been deliberating for about a week or two now. And we got approached by a neon sign company, and me and Benny are going ahead with getting a neon sign of our logo. So in future podcasts, we're going to have a black backdrop with our logo in neon behind us. It looks pretty sick, to be fair. It's quite exciting, and it will make our sort of podcast look a bit more professional rather than sort of like this. So it's going to be, I think it's 75 centimeters by 75 centimeters. So it's probably going to be sort of about that big by that big, I would say. So it's going to be quite big. It's going to be quite bright. It's going to be pretty cool. We've invested in a bit of money to that just to make it look sort of like visually pleasing, and we're slowly going to start getting in contact with future guests and hopefully get you on, and we will look forward to seeing that. We're also getting, with the package of the neon, we're getting 3 table toppers with our logo. So they're sort of like plastic sort of ornament type things of our logo, and they're about this big approximately. And then 10 key rings with our logos. So if you want to buy them, you're more than welcome. Any money that if you do want to buy one, buy some merch. Never thought I'd say that. It would be reinvested into getting either better software or better microphones, or just sort of making it a bit more presentable, a bit more professional. It might be a new camera, it might not. I finally sorted out the issues with the camera, so it just, now I don't have to worry, but I'm subconsciously keep looking down anyway. But so end of June, get subscribing, help us get to 100. If we get over 100 before end of June, fantastic, but our first goal is 100, so please subscribe to our Spotify. We're also on Instagram, we're also on Facebook, we're also on TikTok, and when Benny gets back, I'm going to talk to him about Kick and maybe doing some watch alongs on Kick, something new, something that we probably would like to try out, see how we get on. Might be an epic fail and might not be worth our time, but it could be something good. And again, come to our tour and go on, Exeter.
2 lads, 1 rock. We don't back up. Scrum down. Big cat, turn the mics up. Loose bones, we lift the pace up. Ruck, rule, talk, never made up. 2 lads, 1 rock. That's game on. From the grass to the pot, like stay on.